Can everybody hear me? Hopefully, y'all can hear me. Welcome to Wide Open Adventures. I'm hoping that we have audio. I'm using a headset right now, so I usually don't use a headset. So I'm hoping that everybody is able to hear me. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. We're going to talk about some Halloween things and what you all like, and who knows what else we're going to talk about. Can somebody let me know if you can hear me? Just all right, loud and clear. Thank you, Lisa. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and bring Jesse onto the show real quick.
Hello, everyone.
Why, hello. Um, I do want to say something right off the first. There is certain content that I'm not going to bring to this channel, but I have made a impromptu live for Abnormal at 9 o'clock tonight, and I want to clear the air on a few things. I am sick to my gut about some things that is going on, and we're going to get to the bottom of it because honestly, I'm tired of fake Christians. I'm tired of hypocrites, and I'm tired of jealousy, and I'm tired of blackmails, and I'm tired of everything. So we're going to talk about it tonight over on the other channel. I'm not going to bring it to this channel. This is for the kids. This is the outdoor channel. But if you'd like to see it, it'll be 9 o'clock. I've already got it scheduled. So we'll see you over there. Um, Tonight, guys, we're going to have fun on this channel. We're going to talk about some of our favorite things about Halloween, some of our favorite snacks, some of our maybe favorite traditions, some of our maybe some of the jokes we've played on people in the past. Some just we're just going to have a good time, guys. That's what we do on this channel. We come over and we relax and we have a good time. The kids enjoy it. But I would like to say something in the film that I played last night, where I thanked everybody for supporting Hunter and myself by the donations and the super chats. I forgot a very, very important name, one that has worked so very, very hard, diligently, has put in a lot of effort and a lot of time, and has encouraged me to keep going on this channel and the other channel. So I want to thank you, Logan, for everything that you're doing, for being a great leader, and for standing up, and for doing everything that you do and the strength that you give me. And I want you to know, man, that Hunter will know someday everything you've done for him. And he wanted everybody to know that he works really hard, and he does a lot of hard work. And sometimes he is the force that drives me. And I uh, I regret that I forgot his name, but I will make it up to him. Looks like we got a few more people in here tonight than what I was expecting. It's a little larger than usual. I guess the more we do lives, the more we work on this channel, the more it will grow.
Yeah.
I see Beverly. I see Dana. I see Pam's in here moderating. We got Silver Bullet in here moderating. Uh, Dana Afflictions in here tonight. We got a lot of good people in here. Um, we done an early morning live this morning for those of you that don't know that want to go watch it. I think we started at around 3:30 a.m. this morning,
Yeah, I think that's about the time it started.
and I think it went to about 5:30,
Yeah, 2 hours.
somewhere in that neighborhood.
Hmm.
Yes, Dana. He Logan does a great job. Excuse me. Mom just asked if Randy was in here. Yeah, Randy usually is here. He's probably running late or he's busy. But he's also a moderator on this page also. Um, so Halloween, the actual day of Halloween. What is some of your all's traditions? Does anybody have any traditions?
Hmm.
Thank you, Sharon. We always appreciate seeing you.
I can't remember a whole lot of the, of course, trick or treating, but I can't remember a whole lot of traditions I had. But I do remember one of my favorite Halloweens was a time when we went over our babysitter that actually um, took care of us during the week was having a Halloween party for us kids and did one of those story time in the dark where everybody was blindfolded and they passed around these bags and you had to stick your hands in it and it told the stories and you never knew what you were putting your hands into. I always thought that was so cool.
I remember one Halloween. I was pretty young. I don't remember exactly how old I was at the time, but my mom had bought me this outfit, and the outfit that I wore was it was different than anybody else's. It was actually a skeleton head, and you had to paint my face as a skeleton head, and it had one head on each side of my head, and mom painted my face to look like the skeleton head. So it actually looked like I had three heads. So it was pretty cool. Um, of course, my cousin would show up, and we would all jump in the back of the truck, and his mom would drive us around town, and we would uh, get a bunch of candy. We lived in a small town where we pretty much knew everybody, so it was safe. Every house that you went to, and there was always the couple of houses that you didn't go to because you just knew. But
Mhm.
it was a fun time, a lot of good memories. I'll tell y'all a funny story. I won't be able to use names, unfortunately, because I don't have permission, but I can tell you the story. When I was younger, my grandma lived two houses down from us on this same block, and I lived in her rent house with my mom and my dad. I was young, and I, I had well, in between our houses is where another family member lived, and I had a devil mask that I had from, I guess, a previous Halloween, and it had like black hair, red face. It had the eyes that moved, and everything. I mean, it was really scary looking, and I had decided that I was going to go scare grandma. So I snuck across the yards and snuck down to her house. She had her big front door opened, and she had a storm door, which has the metal square at the bottom where you can't see through it. So I climbed on my hands and knees up to the door, and I looked up over the bottom of the door through the window, and she was watching TV, and the TV kind of offset the door, but she would look at the door, but you would look a little bit to the side, and I was hiding right there, and I remember she wasn't looking at me, so I reached up and I banged on the glass to get her attention, and she screamed. I remember her screaming really, really loud, and she threw her legs up in the air, and I took off running for home because I was terrified at what I had just done. And to go home, I had to run past the middle house, of my family. And once I got home, of course, the phone was ringing. We had the phone on the wall, and my mom answered the phone, and they found out who the little devil was at the door because grandma had said the devil was just looking in my door at me.
Uh-oh.
And my family member said, "Yeah, I know. I just saw him run past our door." So, yeah, I was pretty busted on that one.
Mhm.
You know, I thought it was funny until she screamed like that, and I planned on scaring her, but I did not plan on it being so traumatic. And I just remember I was running for home just as fast as I could run. I was afraid, man. I was in trouble. I was gonna get the spanking of my life, for doing that. but we lived in a small town to where we pretty much knew everybody, and we would go up to people's houses was one of our things. And yeah, a lot of people's probably going to know now. Uh, we would knock on their door and run.
Like Ding Dong Ditch.
Oh
Just
yeah,
knocking.
oh yeah, yeah. And we done it to the wrong house one night. This gentleman was a vet, and he started shooting up in the air, which was pretty traumatic. Probably one of the times I'd ran the hardest for my life. Um, but whenever we would get back, we would hide in the doghouse. We had this big doghouse that my dad had built, and this doghouse, it held a lot of secrets. And we done a lot of things from this doghouse. This doghouse, it was huge, and we would go out and we would hide, me and my cousin, in the doghouse. And the way my dad had built it is we could almost stand up in it. The roof where it came down had an opening to where you could actually see from under the roof out, which made a perfect sniper's nest. And
Uh-oh.
so there was this little boy that lived up the road, and we didn't get along with him very well at all. And I had gotten a brand new pellet rifle for my birthday. My grandma had bought me. It was a really nice one. It looked like a 30-30. I mean, it cocked and everything. It had a CO2, had the scope on it. So this kid goes walking across this open lot in front of our house, and I may or may not have shot him. And he started like rubbing his back and screaming and running. And it was like the more he done it, the more I shot him. And he was a mean kid. I mean, he really was. He was a mean kid. That doesn't make it okay, but
No.
but I still done it. And he ran, man. He ran as hard as he could. And I remember his dad was talking to my dad out in the road, and they were actually laughing. And whenever I came up there, one of the neighbors had seen what I was doing, and they had already told on me. And they were laughing, and I thought, oh my God, I'm in trouble. But come to find out, the neighbor was laughing, and I think the neighbor might have been even more cruel than I was, because he was laughing because his son thought bees were stinging him, and he was deathly allergic to bee stings.
Oh my gosh.
So he thought that he was getting stung by bees and was going to have this huge allergic reaction. And actually, it was these two mean kids in a doghouse,
Wow.
been ornery. So yeah, we were kind of ornery back in the day. Done some, some pretty wild things. Halloween. I got another story. I can't say names because I don't have permission. But my mom used to babysit this little girl, and I went to school about probably 2 blocks away. I was probably in like the 3rd or 4th grade, and being in a small town, we were allowed to walk home for lunch. And every day I would walk home, and my mom would have me something. People are actually laughing at this. My mom would have me like something made for dinner, like pot pie or pizza or sandwich, something. And I remembered every time my mom would make pizza, this little girl that my mom would watch, she was so greedy that she would just almost choke to death to try to eat all my pizza whenever I was sitting there trying to eat to go back to school. Made me so angry, man. I would get so mad. And one day she was at the house and my mom was babysitting her. We had this closet that went from bedroom to bedroom. It was like a connecting closet. She was in my bedroom playing with my toys, and I didn't like that too much. And I didn't like her too much. So I went into my mom's room, which was the closet that connected to my room, and I put that devil mask on again. And I threw the closet door open and I stuck my head through it and started screaming. And she just like peed all over the floor. I mean, she just turned white, peed everywhere, and just started screaming. I got in a lot of trouble for that. Uh, that was that was one of the ones where I got probably the most trouble. Is I scared her pretty bad. But yes, Dana, it was revenge. It was a child's revenge. But Halloween, we did a lot of ornery things. My dad built a coffin. My dad was a carpenter, very good carpenter, and he built a life size coffin. And we have a body in this coffin that my mom made, and the name of this body is Frankenberry. He's been around for a while, and I decided on Halloween night that I was going to replace Frankenberry with myself, and I was going to dress in his same clothes. Well, these kids have seen this in our yard for weeks, so they've got accustomed to, it being out there. So whenever they came up to get the candy, well, all of a sudden Frankenberry was alive, and I chased quite a few kids out of the yard with them screaming. Uh, we did have a lot of fun though. We did. We would drive around and we would know a lot of the kids that were dressed up because we all went to school together. It was a small town. Of course, you had the bullies, that would make fun of you. You come walking across the yard and they're like, "Oh, look at that punk," or they try to chase you to get your candy. They would try to steal your candy. That was like the main thing is your candy was your man. That was your gold, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you were trying to protect your candy because you had worked so hard to get it. And then you had these special houses that you would go to, and some of them, these older ladies back then, they would bake, and you may get like a brownie and a cookie and some candy and maybe a notebook and a pencil. I mean, you got a pretty good party pack, and there was no way you was going to let somebody come and take that away from you. So we would hide our stash. Sometimes we would like take it and hide it so that they wouldn't find it. And I mean, it was, we had this one bully, and he was really bad. I went to school with him actually, and at noon we would all walk to this store to go get dinner, right? We would buy a sandwich and a pop. Our moms had always sent us enough money, you could get chips, a sandwich, a pop. Well, this kid, he was a larger kid, and he wanted everybody's food, and if he could bully you and take it, that's what he would do, right? So every day, whenever we would come from the store, he would be hiding underneath this person that lived on our way had an archway bridge that went over a big like creek. So he would hide underneath this bridge and ambush all the kids coming back and steal their food. He was like the troll. And every day we would come through there, he would steal our packs of Doritos. Well, we got tired of him doing that. And one day we was walking back, and laying in the ditch was a male, I'm trying to think how to say this. It was a condom laying in a ditch. Okay. So it wasn't my idea. My friend reaches down, grabs it, sticks it in the Doritos, and like pushes it all the way to the bottom and stirs it up. So we're walking to the bridge, and here he comes. He was bullying us. give me your Doritos or I'm going to beat you up. And he beat a lot of kids up really bad. I mean, he had really hurt a lot of kids. So, in fear for my life, I gave him my Dorito bag. And
Oh.
we walk just a little ways up and we stop and we start watching. And that kid lost everything he had stolen before us whenever he got to the bottom of that Dorito bag. And
Oh. Oh.
he, he never did it again. He stopped stealing people's food. And I think that was a good lesson because, I mean, there was a lot of kids that would go to school hungry because he didn't care if you ate off of it. I mean, you could have like ate off your sandwich and he would take it and eat it just like it was his.
Oh.
I mean, he did not care. Yeah, Dana, it was funny. I mean, he like projectile, and we all we all got a good laugh out of it. But it did stop him from doing what he was doing. The one thing though that I never done is I never tore up property. I never cost anybody any money or hurt anybody. I never egged houses. I have never toilet papered a house. I did, unfortunately. I had some friends on Halloween night. It's been a while, probably 10 years ago. They was going around town and they were toilet papering people's houses. And they went to, I'm not going to say his name, but it was somebody that was affiliated with the school. And they toilet papered his house. He proceeded to jump in his vehicle and he chased them. And they were hit by a train and killed. Uh, Later, a week later, one of the girls that was in the vehicle that was killed, her boyfriend stepped in front of a train at the same crossing where she was killed and ended his life. So, you know, don't do things that's going to cost you your life on Halloween. I mean, was chasing somebody for toilet paper in your yard, was it wrong? Probably not. He was probably trying to get a tag number. I don't feel that he was at fault. The kids did run a stop sign and the train hit them. And that was before all the railroad crossings had the arms and stuff. It's where we just had the stop signs. And then some of the places in town where you just had the stop signs, you may have a business there that would block the tracks and you wouldn't see the train until it was past the business, which was too late because back then, I mean, the trains would just scream through town, 65 mile an hour. But I think nowadays, since they got the arms and everything, they have slowed the trains down also. It doesn't seem like they come through the towns as fast as they maybe used to.
Yeah, I know there's regulations here with how fast trains are allowed to cruise through town day and night. They have different regulations.
I wish they would have a regulation where they couldn't blow their horn so much.
Oh yeah,
It drives me
especially
crazy.
at night.
It sounds like there's a 3-year-old got a hold of the cord. Sometimes it's just like constant.
Mm-hmm.
So, what have you done on Halloween? Tell on yourself a little bit. Have you done anything honoring anybody?
No, I mean, I don't want to say I was a good kid because I was not a good kid growing up, but I never did anything like totally, I mean, terrible to anybody else. I mean, because my birthday's in October, my mom would usually do some type of a Halloween kind of party. I think my first, like I did a Halloween birthday party my first year. Was it fourth grade? Because I went to a new school, and I loved that party. My mom worked so hard. Um, it was everybody dressed up in their costumes, and we went scavenger hunting through the neighborhood. So we all had a list of things like a paperclip, rubber band, a notebook, a pencil, and just all random stuff. And we would go to door, and people were like, "It's not Halloween. What are you kids doing here?" But we had different teams, so everybody went in different directions, and we had to meet back and see what everybody got. And it was kind of cool because people would be confused. We're like, oh no, we're on a scavenger hunt. Oh, okay, what can I get for you? And that
Right.
was kind of fun. And then we came back and told ghost stories. And but uh, that was a fun birthday party. But I think Halloween, I think fall, October altogether is kind of maybe one of my favorites just because we would spend time out. You know, you go through the corn mazes and you go and pick out your pumpkins and you get to carve them and maybe go to the spooky haunted houses, which were kind of silly but fun as a kid. And you take pictures. We have a cornfield maze out by us, right on the border between two of those towns, where they actually take the corn stalks and the pumpkin heads and they do scenes like Frozen or Shrek, and you can go and get your pictures taken with each of the scenes throughout the maze, and it's kind of fun. The apple cider and apple farms, and sitting by the bonfires and telling spooky stories. So I think that's. I mean, by the time Halloween ever comes around by us, it's so cold, and I think it's leading up to Halloween that I mean, just the fall feel.
I think that's what I always like too is the fall feel, the changing of the seasons, the changing of, the trees and the plants and everything, and bonfire time, you could go out and not just sweat to death. And Halloween, everybody was so excited for Halloween, and the spooky stories at night. And what was your, and what was everybody in the chats, what was your favorite Halloween candy or food item that you could receive? What was your favorite thing?
I think mine always had to be the Snickers bars, the big ones though. If you got those, that was your $1 million bar.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The Snicker bars is what I went for. I also like the Zero bars. You ever have one of those called a Zero?
I don't think so.
Oh, they're really good. Yeah. There's Therese has joined us. Good to see you, Therese. Um, what was your worst thing that you could get? The worst candy?
I think it was those little wrapped toffee things. I think it was supposed to taste like peanut butter. They were always wrapped in either like the black or orange wax paper. You know what I'm talking about? Um, it was supposed to be like toffee, but they weren't toffee. They were never toffee. It was like chewy. Ugh.
Right. I think my worst was the candy corn. I hate candy corn.
Oh, yeah.
I used to hate getting that. I remember throwing it out to the dogs. Silver Bullet likes carameled apples. Lisa likes the Zero bars. Who do you love knows what you're talking about, Jesse.
Mm.
You know, I didn't mind the brownies and stuff that were baked because that was really good. I noticed now that in a lot of towns where they do the trick or treating on like Main Street and stuff, a lot of the businesses are now getting where they participate, and the kids can get like free hot cocoa. They get like a slice of pizza now. They give the adults coffee or a drink, and I love seeing that. I think that's really good for the towns. I like that the community together. And Shelly Belly likes popcorn balls. Milk Duds is Lisa's. Yeah, those were
Mm.
pretty good. Mallow Milks. I never heard of Mallow Milks. I don't
Or
know what
are
what
the
those are.
mallow milks like the malt balls?
I never did
Maybe
like those. Those were not one of my favorite things either. I don't know why. My mom loved them, but I wasn't big on them.
malt balls.
Yeah,
Ooh,
kind of
that's
tasted
what our
like grandma's mothballs. I just wasn't.
no.
I just wasn't real. I wasn't real big on them.
That's what our town was pretty much founded on was malted milk.
Right. Yeah, I never liked the I like red licorice is okay. The black licorice, yuck. Never did like it. Uh oh don't marshmallow cream and chocolate. That sounds good. I like marshmallow cream and chocolate. I do too, Dana. I love watching them, and I used to do what Dana used to do also when I was a kid. I remember staying up and trying to catch scary movies that would come on, and then record them on a VHS tape, and then really think that you had something, and then I don't know if a lot of y'all done it, but I even got to the point to where I would try to record things and not record the commercials, so I could like have a movie without commercials, and then I would forget to hit record again, so you'd have like 45 minutes of the movie and you don't have the ending because a commercial came on and you forgot to hit record again. So I did do that quite a bit.
Although you'd probably be better off keeping those commercials because nowadays people are looking for all those old commercials.
Oh, I still have them all. I have all the videos.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Some of the videos I recorded back in the day, some of the old ones were. Do you remember a movie called The Green Knight? It had. Oh, come on, Mike. He played 007.
Sean Connery?
Yes, Sean Connery was in it. Have you ever seen that? The Green Knight.
Mm-mm. No, I have to look it up.
That was one that I recorded. I was glad that I got. It was a really good one. I'm a big kid too, Dana.
Hmm.
Uh, a lot of people like the malted milk balls. Yep, Silver Bullet does too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Green Giant was it's a really good movie. Y'all should check it out if you like Sean Connery. It was one of his better movies. Another movie I remember coming on late at night was this vampire movie. I don't remember the name of it. I do remember at the end, he was on a ship and you thought that he had been killed. His cape blows off of the ship and his cape is blowing through the air. And you're like, yeah, he died. And then the cape starts flying like a bat
Ah.
right at the end. And you're like, oh no, he's still alive. Uh, I can't really remember back in, I mean, we had, what was it? We had uh, Stories from the Dark Side. Is that right? The little
Like
skeleton.
Tales from the
Yeah,
Crypt.
that little dude,
Yeah.
you know.
Tales from the Crypt. Yep.
Yeah, we used to watch him. The Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, our neighbor. I was little. I was probably 10, 12 years old, and our neighbor was a big old guy. And he would walk over to our back fence, and he would always grab me and pick me up over the fence, and he would steal me and take me to his house. And his wife, she was a sweet lady too. My granny used to take care of her. She was a diabetic and was an amputee, and she was blind in a wheelchair. And I remember we would go over to her house, and he would always steal me. And she had a plum tree. They had a cherry tree. They had a lot of fruit trees, and I would go pick the fruit and take it to her, and she would eat it and talk to me. Of course, he would visit with me, and he took me in one day. Yeah, the crypt keeper, Dana, and he took me in one day, and he said, "You want to watch a scary movie?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." And he opens up this cabinet, right? And I was like, "Oh my god, this guy is like, he's the bomb because his videos weren't recorded off the TV. He had actually went and bought them, So it was like, oh wow. So he puts in the one the Twilight Zone, and the one particular movie that I watched with him was this little boy, and whatever he's seen, if he would say like "come" or whatever, it would come true. So this little boy had done a lot of bad things, and the guy that had the little boy, he was ready to get rid of that little boy because he knew he was a danger. So he like took him in his house and showed him a picture of it, like a house engulfed in fire. And the little boy was like, "Come," and they all burnt to death. I had nightmares over that for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, it messed with me for a while. Uh, who do you love says, what movie scared you the most? Oh wow, what movie scared me the most? Huh. I think one of the movies that probably scared me the most, I can't say it scared me, the absolute number one, but one of them that really messed with me was Stephen King's It, the first one, not the new one that came out, but
Hmm.
the Stephen King one. I think that's it's a deep movie. I think it goes really deep because you have all these kids that are experiencing this monster, and the little girl's dad's mean to her and he doesn't believe her, and they all make this pact, to come back to take care of this monster if it ever comes back. Therese, I never watched that movie. I never had the guts to watch it,
What
but
movie? Oh,
it, yeah, I heard it's pretty wild.
that
Have you ever
movie
seen
didn't.
it?
That movie did not scare me. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. One of my first boyfriends. When I went over to his house, he was playing golf or whatever, and he had to go help his mom put some stuff away. And he goes, "You want to watch a movie? Pick out a movie." And I was like, "Oh, you have The Exorcist again, VHS." But it was like, "Oh, you have The Exorcist movie." He goes, "Yeah, it's stupid." I'm like, "Well, I've never seen it." He goes, "Oh, you can watch it. Put it on." So I put it on. And I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, "Yeah, this really isn't that scary." I don't know. I mean, it was creepy, but I wasn't too scared of it. No.
The Legend of Boggy Creek. I've got it over here. I bought it on VHS, and that's a pretty wild one. And she's right. Silver Bullet's a really wild one. And there's another movie I think it's called The Howling. It's about people on a train, and it gets attacked by werewolves. Have you saw that one?
Oh, oh no, I haven't seen The Howling. I did see Dogman Soldiers.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
I tried to find The Howling because that was another one that everybody said was a good one to watch,
I
but I
think,
haven't been able to find it.
and I may not be right on the name. It might be The Howl or something like that. But it's about these people on a train. The train breaks down, and they start getting attacked by this werewolf. That's a pretty wild movie.
Think there was one, and I always get it confused when I've tried to look it up before because it was a remake of uh, who was the famous Vincent?
Oh yeah, Carpenter or
No,
uh, oh, I know who you're talking about. Come on, Mike. You remember his name, Mom?
Vincent
The guy
Price.
that, yep, Vincent Price.
Okay, so it's a remake of one of Vincent Price's original movies where he invites everybody to the house for like $1 million and if they can stay in the house or whatever. But it was a remake and I can't remember the name of it, but I saw that one in theaters and I think because of the digital effects that they did on it, that freaked me out bad. And I
Wow.
should find out what the name of that one is. Because it was like I had never seen the digital effects up until this point. The spirits in the movie, the way they moved. There was a scene where one of the characters was walking down this hallway, and she comes to an end of a room, and there's nothing there, and then she opens the door opens, and there's like a doctor working on the table, and there's a nurse, and it kind of like glitches, but then the camera pans back to her and you can see this shadow figure behind her, and the way the thing moves across the hall and creeps up on her, it's like that glitchy effect, and the way
Okay.
that they did the video of that movie, oh, that was how those ghosts moved throughout the entire thing, scared the crap out of me. House on Haunted Hill, yeah. Yeah, that's what it
Another.
is.
I just remembered probably the movie that scared me the most. It was actually a documentary, and the name of the documentary was The Haunting of Connecticut.
Mm.
Um, I was watching the documentary one night. The kids were asleep, and one of my children stood up and started talking really funny, acting really weird. So I took it out of the player and threw it out in the field, and that was it. Hey, Sharon, good to see you. But oh yeah, the people under the stairs. I remember seeing that. I watched that with my cousin. That was a really good one.
Hmm. I have to write that one down. I haven't heard that one.
Another good one I just watched on Tubi the other night. If y'all are looking for some crazy movies, I'm trying to think of the name of it. The Chef, I think, was the name of it, and it's it's different. I think it's called The Chef. Another one that I watched on Tubi, and I'm trying to think of the name. It's oh, come on. I can't think of the name of it, but they have this guy that's like this huge guy, and he looks like deformed and everything, and they keep him locked up in this building, and they use him to hunt people. Like, people will show up at their house, and they'll be like, let him out, and they'll whisper in his ear. They'll be like, "Go get him," and the guy will like chase him like a dog, sniffing, and he'll attack him and like bite him in the throat and stuff. It was a pretty crazy movie. I can't remember the name of it though. I've been trying to watch a scary movie a night. I'm having my Halloween 30 days. I'm doing it by myself, and some are stupid. They're saying Motel Hill was bad. Some I found on Tubi are actually pretty good.
I will tell you, I just watched, because I started doing that too, and I was watching, what is it, The Vampires with, I can't remember his name now on there. I have to look it up. But I remember seeing the movie originally years ago, and then I just watched it again the other day. Wow, this is horrible. I couldn't
Right.
believe how bad, but I guess younger and getting used to new films and stuff, but it was really bad acting.
Therese says Bone Tomahawk. Yes. If you have not seen that movie, I highly recommend it. But content warning for sure. I think Jesse needs to watch that tonight and let us know on the next Abnormal Investigations what her thoughts were on that.
Yeah.
Wasn't Scott in here a while ago? Scott B. Scott B, are you still with us in the chat? I actually talked him into watching Bone Tomahawk. I don't know if he's still here or not. He was in the chat. Glad you're able to hear us now. Yeah, Bone Tomahawk was a really good one. There are some parts in that may be hard for some people to watch.
I definitely believe that's your favorite movie, because I've heard you mention that on several other times.
It's kind of like the suspense of it, because the Indians that are in town, they're like, you should not go after these Indians. They're not like us. They will kill you, and they're like, oh, we got to go save the people, but no, these Indians were way different than the regular Indians. I mean, they weren't monsters, and they weren't like, supernatural, but they were a wicked to a whole different level. And let's just say Bone Tomahawk stands up to its name. It was really, really crazy. It'll really mess with you. Hey, Logan. It's really crazy. It's a scary movie too. It's I thought, suspenseful. There's another movie, and I can't think of the guy's name, but he's on the talk show in the mornings. The name of the movie is called Play Dead. If you have not seen that, I recommend seeing it. It's a really suspenseful movie. He's a mortician, and a girl gets trapped in the funeral home with him, and she's trying to get away from him. It's a pretty spooky movie, but it's called Play Dead. It's really good. Okay, Sharon, I thought he was in here. He must have took off. Scott, what a loser! Right when I needed him, right? So he can't defend himself. I can talk about him now. It seems to be how everybody does things. I had a question asking me where Brooks is at. I believe Brooks has took some personal time off. I don't want to get into her personal business, but I think that's the best way to put it right now. She's just took some personal time, and she's I think probably taking care of some things, and we'll leave it at that. Um, but as far as her being hurt, or some of the rumors going around that she was abducted, or something like that, she has not been abducted that I'm aware of. Aliens haven't got her. The werewolves haven't got her. She's just taking care of personal business. But it freaks a lot of people out when things change. Yeah, Sharon, I understand, and we appreciate y'all caring and paying attention. That lets us know that y'all really care. So we do appreciate that, and we thank you for that. That's really about all I got for Wide Open Adventures tonight. I wanted to come on and spend a little time with you guys. We've been dropping some videos on this channel, trying to grow this channel. We would ask that you all share us out on your Facebook pages, social media, to help us grow this channel. That helps us so much. We have been growing. I just approved more people today to the channel, and we are going to be going live in about 10 minutes on the other channel. I'm going to clear the air on some things. And just for the record, it's me doing it. I've just asked Jesse to be there. This is all totally me. And we will be live over there in about 10 minutes. So if you'd like to come over and join us over there, I would love to see it. And you're right, Sharon. Great Vampire. Abraham Lincoln was a good movie. Dana wants some treats now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, since Dana brought that up too, I think it would be really cool if everybody would, if you have pictures or special recipes or holiday like harvest type treats, cookies, something that you could share with the Wide Open Adventures channel. Send over your posts or pictures or recipes of something cute like that is like spookish, whether it be your ghost cookies or fun cakes or any other type of appetizers or things that you might have that you could share with the rest of us. I think that would be really great.
Yeah, and Halloween night, we're going to try to go live a little bit for Halloween. But also on Halloween, if you take your kids out or whatever, send us a little clip of your kids, put it on our Facebook, a little clip it, and let everybody see how you all are, having your Halloween, your party maybe, or like she said, something you've made, or, at a haunted attraction or something like that. Just show us a little bit of it. We would love to get to know you and your family a little bit better and to see what everybody does. So we would appreciate that. And guys, with that, I don't have any more. Do you have anything you want to say, Jesse?
Nope, that's it.
All right, guys. And for those of you that are going to join us over at Abnormal Investigations, it will take on a very different approach, but I feel that the air needs to be cleared. And as always, I'm probably going to make somebody upset. But we will see you over at AI. Thank you for watching, guys. God bless. Thank you for the support on both channels. And I don't know how we would end this channel, because we're not going to tell you. We're just going to say thank you for showing up, supporting us, and God bless each and every one of you. Be safe, and until next time, make memories with your family, as many as you can, because you don't know when the last day is, and tomorrow is not promised. We'll see you on the next one.
Good night, everyone.